This week, Rhea and I are hitting another one of the 50 trails in 50 weeks as we join members of state parks and PLEAA on a ride through the Shoshone Trail.
Then Reece Stein has taken us to one of northern New Mexico's premier family-friendly hikes that offers a unique bit of history along the way.
Finally, our Legends of the Trail series continues. This time we're featuring one man who started selling tires out of his garage and grew it into a global company that sells ATV parts. It's all headed your way now. At Your Leisure is next. Bull hockey. I'm sorry. There's so much wide open space out here, I kind of got lost, okay? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Rossi Booth, and we are out on the Shoshone Trail out in Randolph, Utah. Lots of beautiful spaces with some beautiful people.
This space is big enough that the birds are even big here, and we'll explain that a little bit later in the show. In fact, when we were coming up here, this place gets so little exposure and so little traffic. Chris Haller, who runs the OHV program for the state of Utah, said, I got to be here for this event. So he showed up. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. And of course, so we don't get lost, a lot of the signing on this trail system is done by an organization called PLEAA, and they wanted to make sure that we didn't get lost, right?
That's right, Chad.
So Glenn Olson and crew showed up today.
We really do get lost a lot, too.
Yeah, it's because I listened to her directions. That's entirely.
That is so not true. Hey, talk is cheap. Time is like valuable. Let's roll.
All right, let's get out and find out what this trail's about.
All right.
I think probably one of the most important aspects about this particular trail system is it's the most recognizable trail system currently in the northern part of the state of Utah. I think it's a great viewing experience. It's a great way to escape. You have different nuances like here behind me, which is Bug Lake. You're close to Hardware Ranch Wildlife Management Area, and so there's a number of things that I think people can come and experience. And just on the scenic value, starting at a low elevation in a sagebrush climate community to the high alpine, the sweet smell of pines. It's a really good, refreshing experience and just a great way to come and visit, especially during the months of July and August.
Well, what's up here is really some beautiful area, and that's what you're gonna see. A lot of quakies, a lot of pines. There's different, as you go to different places, you're gonna see wildflowers, a lot of meadows. A lot of what's up there is roads. A lot of this area was developed for timber.
And it's been a relatively easy ride, mostly dirt road, and it's been pretty fun.
Today was one of the first times that I've actually come up from Randolph rather than going down into Randolph from up on top of the trail system. That is a beautiful experience. It really is a beautiful ride. The loops that you can make from Randolph up on top to Red Spur and then around down through an area called Rock Creek and then loop yourself back around and go back down New Canyon or come up Old Canyon and go down New Canyon makes for a beautiful ride and it's a great round trip.
You know, you get up on top of the mountains and you just feel like you are literally on top of the world. You can see forever up here. You know, we are making our way up over the top, and the funny thing about this route is you come up out of Randolph and you go up and then you go down and then you go up and then you go down and then you come to something really cool. So we've still got more cool ahead of us. Right now it's time for you to go to this week's Where To.
600 years ago, about the time Columbus was cruising the Caribbean, ancestral Pueblo Indians began carving their footsteps into the soft volcanic tuff on this isolated ridge near the Rio Grande River. Their descendants call the place Tsankawi, the land between two canyons. The ancients lived here for less than 2 centuries, likely driven away as they used up their sparse desert resources. Today, this slice of northern New Mexico is a detached unit of Bandelier National Monument. The rutted trail begins at a picnic and restroom shelter right along New Mexico State Road 4, 30 miles northwest of Santa Fe.
We're walking in like narrow, carved out trails that are just been worn away by the 1,000 years of human feet.
A 1.5-mile loop, the Tsankawi Trail, gains 236 feet to the ridgetop. 3 new, well-built ladders, 2 up and 1 down, help with the climb and add a bit of excitement to the walk.
They had like these really sturdy ladders that you had to climb up of, and those were cool.
It was hot, but it was really nice. Like the ladders were really like well built, and like you just climb up the ladders, and yeah, it was. I enjoyed it.
The trail and ladders top out at what once was a village of some 350 rooms with spectacular views of the valleys below. The centuries have reduced the isolated pueblo to piles of rubble, unexcavated in deference to the wishes of local descendants. Down the third ladder, the loop trail returns under the rim. Here, ancient artists carve images in the soft stone. The remains of some of Tsankawi's 350 hollowed-out cliff dwellings line the route.
It was an easy to moderate hike, but make sure you bring lots of water. And the best thing, it had the best bathroom ever.
This area was the center of ancient activity, with bulky steps leading up to the summit and down to the agricultural lands in the valleys. Just a fantastic hike.
You were climbing a ladder, you were going on narrow old trails, you were traveling on rock, you were traveling on dirt, you could see ruins, you could see where they carried water up in the Moki Steps. It was a really great short hike, good for most ages.
Bordering Tsankawi is the once top-secret birthplace of the atomic bomb, Los Alamos. This sprawling mountain hideaway still employs 13,000 scientists and support workers dedicated to national security and scientific research. While COVID has curtailed tours, museums and the visitor centers are open. The atomic bomb was a mere firecracker compared to the explosions nearby. Valles Caldera is a 13-mile-wide crater created by volcanic eruptions a million years ago. It ejected pumice, ash, and pyroclastic flows, creating the landscapes of both Los Alamos and Tsankawi. The Jemez River slices through the caldera rim. The 2-mile-long Los Cachos Trail traces the river through idyllic forested meadows bordered by towers and cliffs of hardened volcanic tuff. Rainbow trout frolic in the gentle current of this spectacular little canyon. This slice of the land of enchantment is a cornucopia of scenic history and fun recreation. Reece Stein at your leisure with this week's Where To adventure in northern New Mexico.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Katie Yardley, and this is my husband, Mark.
Hi, and buongiorno. Welcome for Italian today.
Today we are cooking homemade meatballs and marinara sauce. Let's start with the marinara. Okay, first you want to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then you want to add your diced onion. Stir that around a little bit. It's gonna start smelling really good already. Good. Then we want to add 2 cloves of garlic. We put that in there. Some dried basil and some dried parsley. That looks like quite a bit. 2 tablespoons of each. But then we want to mix them in with our onions while they're sauteing, because when we do this, it actually helps release the flavors of the dried herbs. So now we'll add our tomatoes.
Would you like me to pour it in?
1 jar at a time. Now I actually use my spoon to help so they don't splatter. Now we'll turn the heat up just a little bit. So we want to get a nice simmer on this. Now the secret to this sauce, cook it low and slow for a very long time. I would say at least 4 hours if you can. Want to kind of bring this to a simmer first before I add the sugar so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Okay, after it's finally come to a little bit of a boil or simmer, we can add the brown sugar. You pass that to me? Perfect, that's his favorite part. He's been anxiously waiting. There you go. Mix that in. Now you want to, once this comes to a boil, turn it down and just simmer it for hours. Then We're gonna get the meat out so we can start making our meatballs.
I can do that.
You wanna take 2 pounds ground beef, a half an onion, finely diced, 4 eggs, salt and pepper, a couple tablespoons of some fresh parsley, some fresh Parmesan cheese, half a cup of cream, or half and half, and crushed up Ritz crackers. This is where it gets fun.
Kind of like a meatloaf, isn't it?
You know what? It's very similar, just different ingredients. I think that looks like it's mixed together pretty good. All right, so you take a little bit, kind of roll them up together, gently place them on a parchment. Let's put these in the oven, 375 degrees for 45 minutes. All right, 45 minutes, honey.
Time for some poker.
Oh, look at that. Hey, look at those. This is how you're getting paid tonight, baby.
You know what? That's okay with me. That's just
All right.
fine.
So once we take them out of the oven, you can see how beautifully done they are. We actually remove them all one by one and stuff them in the marinara. We put them all in, make sure they're completely nestled. Oh, look at those. They smell so good already. I cannot wait for you guys to try this recipe. All right, now we want to let them sit in there for about 1 hour. During this hour, we will actually cook our spaghetti noodles, and then we are ready to eat.
Ooh, that looks like good spaghetti.
This will be the best 4 hours you have spent cooking in the kitchen. Your neighbors will come over to your house because it smells so amazing. Mwah! Prego! More at your leisure ahead.
Cheers. Good to the last bite.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're up here at the Elk Valley Ranger Station on the beautiful Shoshone Trail. And I am telling you, it is gorgeous up here. I mean, you want to get away from the heat, the madness, everything that's happening in the world. Get yourself up here, jump in your side-by-side, your ATV, and you will not think of anything but just peace and beauty and talk about God's country. Woo! Anyway, everybody that we're with said they're going to stay here. They're not going to come back down. So, well, we're all just going to stay here. So if you don't see another show, it's because we're living here right now. Anyway, the only way we really got up here, seriously, was through PLEAA, which is a fantastic organization. And they put all the signs in on this trail so people know where they're going so they don't get lost. And we're able to get us right here. So I think we should find out a little bit more about it.
As we've evolved over the years, we've had different clubs, organizations become involved. And PLEAA, the Public Lands Equal Access Alliance, has pretty much adopted this trail system as part of their own, along with the Northern Utah ATV Trail Riders.
The mentality is to make things better than what it is right now. You have a vision and you want things to be better. You feel good. The feeling that you have when you go out and work is you're improving things and you're putting your stamp on something that you're creating a better experience for yourself and for somebody else because you're out there working.
It's a way to be of service to others, and I enjoy that. I believe that with the signing that we've done and the trail systems that we've done, and we're working on trail system in Fox Elder County that will be really interesting when we get it done, and it'll take 4 or 5 years to get it done. And Shoshone, we've signed it. We have to come back and re-sign it because some of the things have been knocked off and ripped off. But I enjoy that service. It's a way for me to give back to people, and I just enjoy it.
And it's not just that, it's the fact that, quite honestly, it's a reason to be out there because all of us love to be out. We love to be out in different areas and to go places and see new things and to experience the things. And if you can do that with people that you really like, then that's a perfect day.
We should be thanking them for signage and reassurance and directions that provides them what trails go where. And in addition to the mapping system, PLEAA has owned that and has single-handedly done their best to maintain that.
You know, PLEAA has touched every corner of the state of Utah with their trail marking and their trail development program. They've done remarkable work, and we couldn't have done our 50 trails in 50 weeks without a lot of the efforts they put into it. They're a great organization. Well, we've got to make our way back to Randolph because there's still some goodies to show you. But right now it's time for our weekly Along the Way, brought to you each week by Rocky Mountain ATV MC.
If you stand at the headwaters of the Mississippi River, it is less than 18 feet wide and a foot deep. But by the time it completes its journey to the Gulf of Mexico, all bets are off. That is the best metaphor to describe the life journey of Dan Thomas and the home business he started, Rocky Mountain ATV.
When I started, it was just me. I mean, I had my dog hanging around, but that was about it. It was me and my dog. So yeah, I never envisioned it, getting to where it is.
Rocky Mountain ATV has been like a snowball rolling down the hill, picking up lots of mass and velocity as it has evolved into an innovative, employee-owned team of design and marketing experts that can deliver the shiny things you want right to your door anywhere in the lower 48 in less than 48 hours, that is. At the heart of it all has been the need to innovate everything and the desire to really fulfill the needs of those who ride, leading Dan and company to create their own brands like Tusk and Arc.
To be able to design and engineer a product that's exclusive to us, it hasn't been smooth by any means, but when you're reaching really high, it's going to get a bit bumpy from time to time. But I think overall, if you just sit back and you look at the results, you realize that it's a good move and it benefits everybody here, it benefits the customers. So it's been a good thing. I've had no regrets doing that.
Dan's passion for off-roading of all kinds pulses through his entire team, from the laboratory to the warehouses strategically placed across the country. Dan has also realized the value of helping his team talk the talk and walk the walk by organizing company rides.
When you're out there with your team on rides and stuff like that, it's somewhat of a corporate retreat, so you can do a little bit of business strategizing while you're out there. And it helps you understand, the needs of the rider when you're out there, with, bike setup and everything else. So to me, it's absolutely essential for understanding what the customer is looking for.
It is apparent that Dan has profoundly affected the lives of his customers and employees. But if you look closely, Dan has also used the platform of Rocky Mountain ATV and its customer base to move the needle on the culture and access for all off-road sports. The donations to land access organizations have been substantial through the years, and Dan himself has served on the boards of multiple organizations like Utah Shared Access and Blue Ribbon Coalition. But to Dan, it's much more personal than that.
I think it's important to give back. I mean, the riding community has given a lot to us. And so we found that, if we can go out on work projects and stuff like that and work with the local people on the ground, with the Forest Service, the BLM, that's very meaningful. We go up team of motorcycles and clean trails, and, they just finished cleaning a bunch of trails up in Payson Canyon, and it's a great partnership. And again, it gets everybody out, it gets them riding, and they just do it during work time, if they want, and we make the time.
In the end, the most lasting legacy Dan has created isn't a business at all. Instead, it's a culture that deeply values and respects the outdoors and all that is offered to us, the places we can go, the places we can ride.
What we've done is we've set up a dedicated structure, dedicated trails to where, we have that legacy, and hopefully, we can maintain that entitlement for that type of access. But I think it's really important, for the health of the sport to be engaged with land management and make sure, that our voice is being heard as well as others.
We hear you, Dan, loud and clear. Thank you. With another tale of a legend of the trail, I'm Stephen Heumann.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. You can't finish a day of riding without stopping at the trough. And we are so anxious to eat here because everybody in town says this is absolutely delicious. And you got your Crawford Angus burger, right?
Right you are, Rhea. Crawfords used to be known as Gators, but they say it's only upward and onward from there. We're going to put them to the test and check out their food and take a look at their fare. Right now, why don't you take a look at what's coming your way next week on At Your Leisure. Okay, I'm ready to order.
Next week, the Mortensons are showing off their backyard as they join members of Richfield City on another one of the 50 trails in 50 weeks, but this time there's a unique stop along the way.
Then it's motorcycle season, and this time we're showing off a great ride high in the hills when we get bikes out on the Nebo Loop.
Finally, what's the difference between whitewater and big water? We'll discover next week as we take a jet boat ride on the Columbia.
Now let's take a look at our contest winner.
This week's contest winner was submitted to us on Facebook by Matt Jenkins.
Congratulations, Matt. It looks like you are the lucky winner of an outdoor stove from Camp Chef.
Camp Chef offers the best way to get your cooking done in the outdoors. Visit campchef.com for more details.
And be sure to call us on Monday at 801-947-8888 to claim your prize.
Well, next week's show looks excellent.
It has, you know what, and today has been excellent. You can't go wrong with trails like this and with a bunch of guys like this.
And that big old turkey vulture looks like he's going to eat us.
Oh yeah, the
Look at that
condors,
thing.
they're on attack. There they are, right overhead.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, you never know what you're going to find out here. We do want to offer a special thanks to the guys from PLEAA who keep all of our trails marked, keep you safely on them and get you back home.
Yeah.
And all the work they do for trail access. And of course, we want to thank Chris Howler from the division, who just keeps everything protected for us. I mean, this guy is in slugging for trail access every day. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Yay. All right. Now,
Love you, Chris Holler.
I got him to blush. Great. Remember, there's adventure around every bend.
You just got to get out there and create your own adventure.
At your leisure.
Woo!